And a pleasant good evening from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex for some high school football, private school action, as we have the Atlantic Shores Seahawks with a record of 1-0 on the season playing host to the Roanoke Catholic Celtics, 0-1 on the campaign. And we'd like to thank our sponsor tonight, Zoup Eatery, located right off of Lansdowne Centerway. With the coach, Darnell Moore, I am Matthew Hatfield. And Coach Moore, we've got ourselves an interesting matchup tonight featuring the Seahawks, who last season finished up pretty strong in the spring, 46 points per game, 5-1 record for Coach Wayne Lance's squad, taking on a Roanoke Catholic program that is used to playing in a lot of big games, 5 straight state championship appearances for them, but last year did not have the typical run of things, in fact did not play. Coming off a loss are they to Allegheny this past week, 43-6, and we're going to see what these two teams have tonight on our first Friday night. The weather is absolutely gorgeous for September high school football. We didn't have this last year. We had spring football. It was chilly and cold on our first game that we did here from the Sportsplex. I think it was Salem and Princess Anne, which did not disappoint going to overtime. But tonight, this is my kind of weather right here.
I love it. This is my kind of weather for football, especially if you're playing, or coaching. It's terrific. And, I look forward to seeing this Roanoke Catholic team. I think they're small in number and small in stature, but they're probably big in heart, because they're used to playing big games, used to winning. And they had a young team, but I think we'll see something out of them. And Atlantic Shores, this team is in keeping with what Lance has been doing, and they have some good athletes, and they usually put points on the board, running and passing.
They really do. We'll highlight some of the key players to watch out for here in a moment as Coach Bob Price in his 18th season at the helm tries to get his squad to even their record up at 1-1 on the campaign. Roanoke Catholic will be wearing the white unis with the gold numerals, the green helmets, while Atlantic Shores will be wearing their traditional Seahawk colors with some silver and some dark blue. Once again, our sponsor for tonight's ball game is Zoup Eatery, located right off of Lansdowne Centerway. Join our Zoup Insiders Rewards program and get exclusive offers and points to redeem for free stuff. Just go to Zoup.com to join today, and they'll add a BOGO reward to your account, plus 20 bonus points. Zoup Eatery. And coach for Atlantic Shores coming off their win 55-21 over Isle of Wight Academy last week. Quarterback Damian Mazzell, 6 of 10 for 55 yards through the air, 3 touchdowns. Kai Hodge ran for 103 yards, 2 scores on 11 carries. They also got key contribution from Carlos Smith, who had a couple of touchdown receptions. Smith had an interception on defense, as did Mazzell. This is not really a one-man show. I think they got a number of different players that can be weapons. For Roanoke Catholic, it's sort of a pick your poison tonight for their defense, as you mentioned before, not deep in numbers and experience, but they have some talented youngsters that we'll probably find out about before this game's over.
And they need to grow up in a hurry. And when you're coaching and they're young, you try not to make excuses for them being young. Hey, you just got to get the job done. And hopefully, that they can do that. And as you said, Atlantic Shores put points on the board many different ways, and that is always a problem for a team when it's by land or air.
Well, I think for Coach Lance, one of the things he's got to be looking for defensively is can they slow down the running game with Marquise Adams for Roanoke Catholic. He scored their only touchdown in the loss to Allegheny a week ago, and while their offense is prolific, they did give up a couple scores in the second period against Isle of Wight Academy, so we'll see if they can key on that guy and make someone else have to beat them or create some offense.
Yes, and sometimes it's difficult defending the wing T team with so much misdirection, guys going, like we say, every which way, it's really a guard-oriented team. The guard normally takes you to the play. But when you're out there facing them and everything, and you're watching the ball, it looks like a crapshoot, so you really, really got to pay attention to the coaching points.
Some other sponsor for tonight's game here from the Sportsplex. We'd like to thank AstroTurf, Atlantic Bay Mortgage, CHKD Sports Medicine, Chicho's Pizza, Dairy Queen, John's Tax Service, One Life Fitness, Shine Time Power Wash and Paint Professionals, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, Vault Athletics, Why Not Italian, and Zoup Eatery, our title sponsor for tonight's game here. You are watching with us here on YouTube, and we thank you for checking it out wherever you may be watching. And go to beachsportsplex.com under streaming and click on the link with Coach Darnell Moore. I am Matt Hatfield, and a couple of special teams touchdowns coached last week for Atlantic Shores with Will Goggin, as well as Amir Ali, a 5'6", 145-pound junior for Roanoke Catholic. They gave up a special team score in their game against Allegheny, but with that 4-4 defense that they use, Roanoke Catholic, that is, certainly going to have their work cut out for them to also keep Shores having to go a long ways for that big play or spark play. They're going to certainly try to prevent Shores from having that special teams play, but they want to make them have to be more methodical than quick strike, I would imagine.
Most definitely. When they get the ball, you want to make them have to go a long ways. And I think that's where their offense really comes in. If they can put together 3 or 4 first downs before they turn the ball back over to Atlantic Shores, then, they have a long field. And that's that's the best you can ask for is a long field. But if you let the kicking game start to get away from you, and they're starting their offense from midfield or under that, then you're in trouble.
Before we get underway here, let's talk about some of the scores that happened around the Hampton Roads area in high school football last night and tell you what's going on around the region. In fact, we'll try to pass along some scores and some results as we get them for you here on our YouTube page and throughout the broadcast. Last night, Coach Phoebus a winner 45-6 over Menchville as they moved to 2-0 on the season. Ocean Lake survived to get to 2-0, 14-12 over Kellum. They won it on a go-ahead touchdown from Riley McIntosh on a pass by Landon Spell. Also in the Beach District last night, Bayside, one of your former schools you coached at, a winner in a shutout variety, 39-0 over First Colonial. How about the Kempsville Chiefs? Their first win in, 15-16 tries against the Cox Falcons as Gerald Cherry's group won 28-12 behind 5 sacks from Old Dominion commit Jalen White. Tallwood a winner 21-6 over Lansdowne. You also had Deep Creek victorious over Manor 33-8. Manor had got the big win last week coming from behind over Lakeland, so Andre Twine's Hornets even their record up to 1-1 on the season. Currituck of North Carolina a victorious team over Hickory 42-3, and a couple of shutouts on the other side of the water. Grafton blanking Denby 44-0. York shutting out Gloucester 42-0. I don't know about you, Coach, but the one that stands out to me, Kempsville, first time they beat Cox since 2005, as they're going to be a team to watch out for. They try to get to 2-0 as they take on the preseason beach favorite Green Run next week.
Well, they'll have their hands full, yeah. And they're going to have to score some points to beat Green Run. Plus, they're going to have to hold Green Run down, which I don't know, if there's anybody around here that's going to be able to do that. But it's going to be challenging. And, I listen at the Cox score. Yeah. I mean, Cox losing, that's 2 in a row. 0-2. And when is the last time Cox has started 0-2?
New coach for them and a Pro Football Hall of Famer, Alan Fenica. They try to avoid falling to 0-3 as they play Bayside next week. We're getting ready to have the players come onto the field. There's Atlantic Shores in their unis with the Seahawks logo. Let's see if they get that 12th man revved up, Coach, like they do in Seattle. Seahawks, Coach Lance and Seahawks trot onto the field. Some other private school games to tell you about tonight in Hampton Roads. Blue Ridge is at Nansman Suffolk Academy. How good is running back George Pettaway for Mike Beals Saints of NSA? Might see him coming up soon on a broadcast here from the Sportsplex. You got Covenant at Southampton Academy, Isle of Wights at Portsmouth Christian. Our game tonight, Roanoke Catholic at Atlantic Shores, obviously, here, or playing here at the Sportsplex Atlantic Shores. Some other games involving some public school teams that are still on. We had a few wiped off the board because of COVID. You have Western Branch playing Granby at Powhatan Field. You have War Hill taking on Norcom at Joe Langston Stadium in Portsmouth. Bruton's at Surrey County. Grassfield at Churchland in Portsmouth. Essex playing Jamestown. Essex trying to get to 2-0 as they take on the Eagles at Warner Stadium. And Southampton taking on Lakeland, which hopes to avoid dropping to 0-2. And they'll have a quick prayer, so we'll take a quick moment of silence for this as well.
We thank you for this opportunity to play. We ask right now, Father, you just be with both teams, be with the officials, Father. I ask, God, that everything said and done will bring glory and honor to you. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Amen.
So there's the Lord's Prayer here as we get set for kickoff from the Sportsplex. And I believe we'll have the national anthem here in just a moment as well. All right, so there's the national anthem here as we bring you back here on the YouTube channel here from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex as we get you set for kickoff between the Celtics of Roanoke Catholic and the Seahawks of Atlantic Shores. Our broadcast presented by Zoup Eatery, again located right off of Lansdowne Centerway with the coach Darnell Moore, who once patrolled the sidelines at Norfolk State University, Woodrow Wilson High School, where he won a couple of state championships in Portsmouth and Bayside High in Virginia Beach. I am Matthew Hatfield. Some of you may know me from my work with VirginiaPreps.com and ESPN Radio 94.1. And it's good to be back in a press box and a booth here for some high school football, Coach. Some VISAA private school style, since we did about 4 or 5 games in the past year on the public school side of things.
Yeah, getting back in the booth, at least being at a football game, puts things in the proper perspective. This is how life is supposed to be this time of year.
For sure. As you'll see, exchanging pleasantries, the Celtics and the Seahawks of Atlantic Shores. The captains for the Seahawks is we've got Damian Mazzell, number 1, number 3, Kai Hodge, number 7, Carlos Smith, and big number 72, Andrew Belford, the senior. Celtics, as Coach mentioned, not a lot of bodies, just 20 on the official roster count for us. And Marquise Adams, one of those key members for them. You've also got number 13, part of that group there that includes Sam Sweeney. And coin toss right now. See who wins this. Coach, in all the coin tosses in your years, how many times did you go receive as opposed to kick? Do you know off the top of your head, or could you even keep track of that?
Well, probably the whole time I was at Wilson, I probably received.
You wanted that ball. You wanted to put Aaron Sparrow, put that sucker up and score.
You better believe it. Yep. But later on, and I probably should have gone defense first because we had very good defensive teams, and we would have probably had a short field. But I just wanted to make a statement early.
Well, you made plenty of your decorated coaching career. Sam Mickelson, number 87, and I believe Michael Pyle, number 53, the left guard, was another one of the captains out there, along with Marquise Adams and Sam Sweeney. So we're getting ready for kickoff here. It'll be Atlantic Shores receiving the football first, as the Celtics will kick it away. Looks like that. Is that Adams that's going to be doing the kickoff here, Coach? I think it is.
Yes.
We're going to be calling his name quite a bit tonight. The 6'1", 172-pound senior for Coach Price. Expecting an awful lot out of him. Tonight, as well as the remainder of this 2021 campaign, had that 6-yard touchdown run in their loss to Allegheny. So we are underway from the Sportsplex. Thanks for tuning in with us from the onside, and they got it. Looks like that was Adams on it. He jumped on it. How about that? Surprise onside out of the chute. I think that has the home faithful here stunned, as they'll have it at the 45-yard line of Atlantic Shores right out of the gate. Did not see that coming, Coach, did you?
No. I think what really helped it was that Atlantic Shores' front line started to move back before the guy actually kicked the ball.
So Roanoke Catholic going to start at the 45-yard line. Their starting quarterback, by the way, Luke Kuehler, was lost for the season with ACL and meniscus tear. So Sweeney handling the quarterback duties. He should at least tonight. Give that offensive line. It's going to go from left to right. Carson Baker, Michael Pyle, Cole Weinbarger, Caleb Deeds, and Jorge Rufino for Roanoke Catholic. And our coach is keeping an eye on that freshman center, Mr. Weinbarger, who will be hiking this one to the trigger man. Quick handoff up the middle. Going to pick up about a solid gain of 4 or 5 yards there. As you had number 28, Riley Stransky on the carry.
That's what you want out of the wing T offense. 4 and 5 yards a clip.
2nd and 5 now. Oh, we got some movement up front. Did they pull 52 off sides? And I think they did. It's Caden Beatty, one of the key members in the trenches for Coach Lance. The Seahawks might have been drawn off sides. I don't think there was movement on the offensive front.
Didn't appear to be what they're looking at.
A couple of the officials here are
Offside
talking it over.
defense.
And it's going to be encroachment. So the first penalty of the night, first infraction against the Seahawks. So that will be a fresh set of downs here for Roanoke Catholic. Coach Price has to love this start, Coach. He steals the possession. Remember, he gets the ball for second half, and he's got a chance to match potentially here in this opening series the amount of points he scored in his team's season opening loss to Allegheny. So 1st and 10 from the 35 now of Atlantic Shores. No secrets with them in the wing tee what they're going to do as they hand it off again. But this time the Shores defense is ready for him. As you see, Beatty quickly gets to Stransky, sending him backwards. Great penetration up front from him from his defensive tackle spot. Loses about a yard to Stransky. So 2nd and 11. Don't expect them to really flip the script here and deviate from their plan, although if it gets to 3rd and long, they might have to think about going to the air.
They just might play action on this one.
Oh, we had some movement. I think the one of the interior O-linemen jumped here before the snap.
Yeah.
So it's going to be false start. First penalty on Roanoke Catholic. That brings up 2nd and 16 now from about the 41-yard line of Atlantic Shores.
Flag on the play. False start by the Celtics.
Looks like it's a 3-man defensive line here, Coach, for Atlantic Shores against this run-heavy attack of Roanoke Catholic.
Yeah, at first they had they started out with a 44 look.
Oh, and that time they faked the handoff, and the quarterback is met by 2 Seahawks, as you see, 55 and 10 right there on 13. 13, of course, is Sweeney.
Penetration from the defense takes away a lot of indecision as to who has the ball.
Stopped by number 52.
You saw Nathaniel McDonald, 6'4", 210-pound sophomore D lineman, as well as Marlon Johnson, the 5'10", 175-pound junior outside backer, strong safety. Lose about 4 on that one, Coach, and that's going to bring up 3rd and a good 15 here. They hand it off to Adams.
On the counter.
Tries to get inside and can't wiggle his way for enough yardage to make it close to the marker, as you'll see a couple of Seahawks again.
Number 2,
Beatty,
Marcus Adams.
along with number 4. I believe that was Will Goggin in on that stop.
4th down.
So you got about 5 to make it a fairly respectable 4th down, but 4th and 15.
4th and 15.
Actually, it was 3rd and 20. I think I misspoke earlier on 3rd and 15. So here we go. There's going to be 2 receivers to the far side for Sweeney.
Play action.
Rolling to his left. And he's going to be strung out of bounds, as you see. Met along the sideline by one of the Seahawks. That was number 16 on the stop for Atlantic Shores. Ben Clark ready to meet him. And so a change of possession now with Atlantic Shores coming up with the stop on 4th down. Only 5 yards for Sweeney on that one. And a job well done for the Seahawks after getting fooled a bit on that onside kick and a 5-yard run from Stransky to open the series.
Yeah, this could be a problem, turning the ball over to Atlantic Shores at the 35 here. They punted it, could have given them a long field.
5 wide here for Damian Mazzil. Going to the air, the Seahawks. Quick completion. It's caught by Carlos Smith. And Carlos Smith trying to take it all the way. Carlos Smith, 65 yards to pay dirt, and Atlantic Shores scores on its first play from scrimmage. That makes Coach Wayne Lance a happy camper to see that execution. 5 wide and let the playmakers, they got a number of them, Coach, whether it's Hodge in the backfield, Goggin, Carlos Smith, Amir Ali, Kenyon Wilkerson, and that time, just a little quick, simple throw. It was basically a hitch route and just had it.
He ran down and just turned around and hit him. And the problem there is when you play basically 2.5 on 3 guys, you had a disadvantage from jump street. And when he caught the ball and turned outside, the 2 outside receivers were in position to block the 2 outside guys.
So it looks like they're going to go for 2 here. This could be a run keeper here. They snap it to Hodge on the direct snap, and he's going to be in for the 2-point conversion. Looks like he got in.
Yep.
2 points for Atlantic Shores to increase the lead to 8 on Roanoke Catholic. I think the defense was watching Mazil there, Coach, but they had basically almost like a wildcat type formation.
Yeah.
To snap it right to the back, and he just muscles his way through.
It was a good call. Go up 8-0.
So it doesn't take long for Atlantic Shores to get on the board and put Roanoke Catholic in a deficit. I can tell you over in Norfolk, it's Western Branch on top of Granby 7-0 as Shamik Blizzards runs it in for a couple yards and the touchdown as the Bruins lead the Comets. And that one will pass along more scores as we get them. I know you're also keeping an eye on the college football, Coach, as Virginia Tech has a 14-0 lead on North Carolina late in the second quarter in that pivotal ACC clash.
That quarterback from North Carolina is going to have to come around because they're talking about he may be the #1 quarterback going in draft next year.
Sam Howell, he's viewed as a Heisman candidate, but a lot of local flavor from the 757 for Virginia Tech. Of course, we know about Tavion Robinson, who started at Cox High School in Virginia Beach. They've also got Jordan Williams, who was a teammate of his, who transferred to Virginia Tech from Clemson, where he won a national championship early in his career, and just a host of players that began their high school football careers, whether it was on the private school or public school scene here in Tidewater.
That's right.
So you have North Carolina, which also has Tony Grimes on its defense from Princess Anne High, can make a rally there. But the Shores Seahawks will kick it off here, and it's going to be fielded at the 26 and bobbled by the Celtics of Roanoke Catholic, but they get back on it. No return there as Roanoke Catholic avoids disaster and turning it over to Atlantic Shores with a short field to work with. There was 3 sacks in a span of 4 plays I see in that Hokies Heels game, Coach. I don't know if we're going to get that type of pass rush in this one. One more score to pass along. King and Queen leading Windsor 14-0 in the first quarter with 6 minutes to go in a matchup of schools in the public school scene on a smaller scale. Roanoke Catholic's second possession will begin at their own 28-yard line. Direct snap, and it's going to be the keeper for only about a yard or two before Falaka Seahawks will meet him for a minimal gain, maybe a yard.
He had a handle there with the quarterback exchange. Ball popped up in the air.
Quarterback peak by number 13, Sam Sweeney.
I think we saw Beatty in on that stop again. We also saw big 55 for Atlantic Shores, Nathaniel McDonald. A couple of solidly built defensive linemen for Coach Lance's group. Back in the wing tee for 2nd and 9 now from the 29. Fakes the handoff. Sweeney keeps it, and he's dropped for a loss, as you see once again. Caden Beatty unblocked, and nobody stopping him from the quarterback.
Well, they don't move the ball on this down. The game might get out of hand early.
I think they want to get him a little bit more to the edge, but there's not enough time for him to get out to the edge instead of just a quick draw type of quarterback keeper. And it's just the blocking's not there in time for him to get that.
Yeah, that type of play is they call it the down, where he fakes the dive and he tries to get outside the tackle.
So back to about 3rd and 10, almost 3rd and 11 from the 27, 28-yard line here. And a man for the Seahawks jumped. He got back. That's an errant toss, but able to get on it alertly is number 23, Arius Oliver, 5'10", 150-pound 8th grader for Roanoke Catholic, to keep that from being a turnover. And he'll end up backwards for about 6 yards further.
Looks like Adams is punting.
So 4th and long, quick 3 and out here. And the big thing here is to keep this from being a long returner being blocked. So you mentioned a couple of Seahawks special teams touchdowns last week and one given up by Roanoke Catholic. High snap. Adams is able to get it and get the punt off. Great job to keep that from being blocked or smothered, and it will go out of bounds right around the 46, 47-yard line. They'll mark it at the, looks like the 45, in fact, for Atlantic Shores in Roanoke Catholic territory with 6:08 to go in this first period.
Yep, another short field.
And I got news for you. I don't think they're going to be handing it off here, especially if they go to 5 wide. I think this is going to be Mr. Mazzil airing it out again. The Seahawks pass attack. Don't forget Atlantic Shores' next home game is next Friday against close rival Norfolk Christian here at Sportsplex. Quick option toss to Kai Hodge, and good tackle
big hit
for Roanoke Catholic. Let's give some praise to Marquise Adams. He was there, flying upfield to bring the lumber.
That's our safety supposed to play down here. That was my favorite position.
You were at safety, huh?
Yeah, safety and quarterback, but safety was my favorite. I was more fond of hitting than getting hit.
That doesn't surprise me. So 2nd and 6 from the 41 as Hodge is able to get 4 out of that run. A quick toss. They surprised me again, Coach. They go back to the ground game twice. On that trap, Hodge is able to get away from a tackler, and he's going to move the chains and get out of bounds before he's driven out. Looks like Adams might have been the one. It was Adams who stopped him out, but it's going to be a first down for Atlantic Shores.
Yeah, Sweeney had a chance at stopping him for a 1-yard gain there, but he couldn't hold on to him.
By number 3, Kai Hodge.
So about 13 on that run for Hodge. To the 28 of Roanoke Catholic. See Mazzil get this snap from 72, Andrew Belford. One of the key figures up front on the offensive line for Atlantic Shores. Mazzil out of the shotgun. Going over the middle. A little high for his intended target, number 7, Carlos Smith, who had that first touchdown for them, as that will be incomplete.
Okay, that's first play of no gain for Atlantic Christian.
Now, Damon Mazzil, a 6'2", 192-pound athlete, quarterback. He began his prep career at Kellam High in Virginia Beach. Came to Atlantic Shores in part this past year, Coach, with the uncertainty if there'd be a public school season and trying to enhance his opportunities for the next level.
Yeah, and he throws a very good ball.
Quick screen for Mazzil. He's got his target, and that's going to be a touchdown for the Seahawks. Brandon Peterson gets them back on the board on the quick screen. 28 yards to pay dirt for the 6-foot-tall, 170-pound senior wideout.
Yep.
Seahawks fans with plenty to cheer about in this second game of the campaign. $93 yards on 2 completions, both touchdowns for Mazzil, and Atlantic Shores with a chance to add to its 14-0 lead here as they will line up to go for 2 again. You see the little clap in motion here. Let's see what, they're going to kick the extra point, rather. So first PAT try for junior Jonathan Hilton. Snap is down, hold is there, and the kick is through. 15-0, our score with 4:46 to go in the first quarter.
Score is Seahawks.
Just like back in Coach Moore's vintage days over there in Portsmouth with Sparrow and crew. It's pitch and catch with the QB and the receivers and making it look easy.
Making it look easy. Fun night. You know, I've watched Mazzil for several years, and he throws a really good ball. And he's a good runner as well.
By the way, it's spelled M-A-Z-I-L. So for those wondering if he's related at all to the Mazzell that Coach Moore coached at Bayside, Taquan Smoke, M-I-Z-Z-E-L-L, who played at UVA and also has played in the NFL, scored a Thanksgiving touchdown with the Bears. No relation because it is spelled differently, though it's pronounced almost identically. So there you have it. I want to thank you again for watching here on YouTube. Go to beachsportsplex.com under streaming. You can click and check out this link and all other neat features on the webpage as Atlantic Shores kicks it off to Roanoke Catholic for a third possession. It'll be fielded at about the 12-yard line. Looks like that's Adams. We'll get a solid pickup, although we have a flag on the return. We'll see what the action is here as the referees.
Kickoff return by Marcus Adams. Returned to the 33-yard line. There's a flag on the play, holding on the Celtics.
That'll take Roanoke Catholic back 10 yards here as they have it at the 33, but it'll be moved back to the 23. Second infraction of the night for them. Western Branch leads Granby 13-0 now as Caleb Broadbent returns an interception 48 yards to the house for Rashad Cook's Bruins.
Western Branch has a chance to go 2-0 for the first time in quite a while.
Yeah, a chance to be a factor in the Southeastern District in Region 6A where the defending state champion Oscar Smith Tigers reside in their own district, city, and region. As it's Roanoke Catholic's third possession now with 4:40 to go in the opening frame from their own 23. As it'll be Sweeney getting the snap. Hand off and quickly taken down for a loss of a yard or two. As you see Caden Beatty along with number 56 in on that stop of Roanoke Catholic's Riley Stransky. 56, give him a shout out here. Once again, that is, oh, that's not 56. I'm sorry, that was 58. Boaz Waldemir, I believe, on that stop. We've seen Beatty in on at least 5 stops so far, Coach. He has been terrific in this early.
Yeah, he's playing like he hasn't had any lunch.
Quick toss, and it's not going to go anywhere as Adams is met immediately, as you see a host of Seahawks, including Kai Hodge, on that stop.
Yeah.
Number 2.
Tell you what, Beatty might need to visit that concession stand over there. They got all kinds of neat things. Chicken fingers, the funnel cake fries. Sounds so good, Coach, it might mess up with my diet if I go over there.
Wow. Where's the concession stand?
Go down there.
Okay, that's a long walk.
It's a long walk. Maybe
If the elevator was working.
We'll send Nick or one of the cameramen to bring you some food here. We'll be all set here.
Yeah, if the elevator was working, I might try it.
I wouldn't blame you. Third and about 15 or so here for the Celtics from their own 18. I think they have to go to the air here, Coach.
I think so. But they need to be careful that they don't throw an interception.
Yeah, the question is going to be, do they have enough time to get a pass off and let something develop? Bobbles the snap. That's going to be a fumble and recovered by Atlantic Shores right away. That recovery by the Seahawks. Number 25, Cody Batts, a sophomore, with the fumble recovery and our first takeaway of the night.
Fumble on the play. Recovered by number 25, Cody Batts.
So right there, that was not what they wanted. And it gives Atlantic Shores a short field to work with
for the third time.
To put it in their end zone again with 2:53 to go in this opening quarter. And still had 3 touchdown passes last week. He might have that in the opening quarter if they decide to throw. It was 6 of 10 a week ago. Hand off to Kai Hodge. Instead, he's going to run it in for a score. Kai Hodge will take it in from 18 yards out for the touchdown for the Seahawks of Atlantic Shores.
Touchdown by number 3, Kai Hodge.
So effortlessly, Atlantic Shores back on the board again. The scoreboard here is not working, but it's going to make that 21-0 now as they go for the extra point. Let's try to make it 22-0. And the PAT is up and good for Mr. Hilton. 22-0 our score with 2:45 to go in this opening quarter from the Sportsplex. Our ball game presented again by Zoup Eatery. Go check them out, Lansdowne Center Way. Go to Zoup.com, join today, and they'll add a BOGO reward to your account plus 20 bonus points. Zoup Eatery, Atlantic Shores, all over Roanoke Catholic, 22-0, Coach.
Well, you know, with the scoreboard not working in terms of keeping the score, you know, if I'm Roanoke Catholic, when I look up that scoreboard, I don't feel too bad. At least nobody really knows what the score is.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. They don't have to worry too much in that regard. But 22-0 our score here after the extra point was in.
And I can tell you from experience, it's not easy to coach with 19, 20 guys.
Well, and a number of them, to Coach Price's defense here, ninth graders. I think they have 4 ninth graders and
three eighth graders.
Yeah, that one is muffed. It's going to be, oh my goodness, they got to get on it or it's going to be Atlantic Shores football. And he lost the handle of the return man back there.
Yeah, that was the...
But they're fortunate enough. If they're going to say it's white ball, the referees are going to hear them down there. That could have been even more bad news.
Disastrous.
For here. Not the typical start to a season for a program that's used to playing in the state championship round to come postseason time.
You know, if you stay in this game long enough, it happens to you.
So they'll begin this 4th series from their own 13-yard line. See if someone can give them a spark offensively to help out Marquise Adams, who's been really their main source of playmaking on both ends. They hand it off to Adams. And a couple of Seahawks defenders are there.
They moved him in at the halfback position on that play.
2, Marquise Adams.
Look like 58 once again. Waldemar, a 6-foot-tall, 170-pound senior, along with, I believe that might have been number 9, Amir Ali, on that stop. I don't think he got much of anything, Coach. It's like a no gain from what I can see here.
Basically.
So 2nd and 10 here. Still operating out of the wing tee here, down by 3 scores, 22-0 in favor of Atlantic Shores here. As Sam Sweeney gets it, keeps it, and a run to the left, and fumbles the football. It's going to be scooped up by, guess who? Damian Mazil, who will run it in for a touchdown. Looks like that was from about 12, 13 yards out, Coach.
About that.
Fumble on the play, recovered by number 1, Damian Mazil.
And it looked like he had got to about the line of scrimmage when he coughed it up.
I think he had actually gained a couple of yards.
Yeah. So Damian Mazil with 2 touchdown passes plus a scoop and score. Makes it 28-0. Atlantic Shores adds to its lead. Chance to make it 29-0 with this extra point. And the PAT is going to be right through the uprights for Jonathan Hilton. 29-0 Atlantic Shores with 1:42 to go. Our score.
Score is 29-0.
At this rate, a running clock will probably be in effect here for the second half, which I believe is the same rule for the VISAA as it is the VHSL 35-point margin.
It would be good if it is. It would be merciful. Especially for the health of the young kids. You know, the 8th graders and the 9th graders.
Tough night here for Roanoke Catholic, but Atlantic Shores very opportunistic here with 2 takeaways. Mazil with the scoop and score. He's got 2 touchdown passes. Kai Hodge has the other touchdown on an 18-yard run, and it's been all Atlantic Shores here in the early going, which you wouldn't have if you just saw the first play of the game and you saw Roanoke Catholic recover an onside kick in Atlantic Shores territory. You wouldn't have thought that would be the case.
That's true.
Necessarily. That's going to be kicked away by the Seahawks' number 72, Andrew Belford. Back there is Mr. Marquise Adams, and he is met right there. Good firm hit. Amir Ali in on that, as well as Chris Higgins as the Seahawks.
Kickoff return by number 2, Marquise Adams.
Keep them from, check that out, it was Ben Clark, rather, I should say, along with Amir Ali.
Celtics ball on the 25-yard line.
Roanoke Catholic trying to get something going for this 5th possession.
See if they can get through this play without a fumble exchange here.
So from their own 25 with a minute 33 to go in the opening quarter. Appreciate you tuning in on YouTube, as it'll be Sweeney going backwards, and he is wrestled down by the Seahawks' defensive lineman Nathaniel McDonald, the 6'4", 210-pound sophomore D tackle. He's been active in this one, Coach.
Yeah, he really has.
He's got 3 stops, 2 of which have come behind the line of scrimmage. That one for a loss of about 3 on quarterback Sam Sweeney of Roanoke Catholic, who has been held to no yards on 7 rushes. He had he usually had 3 or 4 positive gains, but he's had some losses as well. So second and about 13 now from the 22, as he gets the snap now from Cole Weinbarger. And we've got a penalty. I think there was some movement up front. A young offensive line coach with just 1 senior starter, Michael Pyle, the left guard, is the only senior, and he's 5'9", 166, not your traditional height and weight for an offensive line starter.
True that.
So they'll be back up 5 more yards to bring up 2nd and 18 from their own 17. Coach Lance has to feel good about this. This will probably be the final play of the opening quarter. As the Jets fly over us, and you see right there again that Shores defense ready to sniff it out with number 58, Boaz Waldemar.
Well, stunting and blitzing does give the wing T a problem. Yeah, I guess it's a bigger problem when you have inexperienced offensive linemen.
So that'll do it for the first quarter of play. Atlantic Shores in total control, 29-0 of Roanoke Catholic. I want to remind you our game brought to you tonight on YouTube by Zoup Eatery, located right off of Lancetown Center Way. Join the Zoup Insiders Rewards Program and get exclusive offers and points to redeem for free stuff. We'll be back with second quarter action right here on YouTube.
For more than 23 years, we've made it our mission to lend peace of mind.
Even when times aren't very peaceful.
We know that every borrower is unique.
That's why we put you first in every step of the loan process.
At Atlantic Bay, we are dedicated, now more than ever,
to providing digital tools, resources, and a lending hand.
To help you reach your home dreams.
Because we're here for you.
Whenever,
Wherever,
however.
All right, back here on YouTube, presented by Zoup Eatery with the coach Darnell Moore. I am Matt Hatfield. Our score after one quarter of play: Atlantic Shores leading Roanoke Catholic 29-0 with a 128 to -4 advantage in total yards, as Roanoke Catholic has it to begin the second period. 2nd and 18 from their own 17, and that one's going to go nowhere. as you see, once again, Caden Beatty and company sniffing it out. You can tell you up in Richmond, Highland Springs, the 7-0 lead on Manchester in a very interesting matchup of some recent state champions, coach on the public school side of things. 3rd and long coming up from the 10 for the Celtics of Roanoke Catholic. And I have a hunch here, Coach. They did not attempt a single pass in the first quarter. We're going to see our first pass of the ball game for the guys in green and white.
No, they're punting down.
Oh, they're going to punt. No, you're not. You're right. It's 4th down. We're not going to see it. See, you should have wagered some popcorn with me on that. You would have won. I thought it was 3rd down on that.
Get on the ball.
From the 41, it's fielded by the Seahawks. And this is going to be a potential touchdown of 41 yards for Carlos Smith, who eventually gets dragged into a Celtics player on a tackle.
Adams.
Is that Adams? Yeah, he either dragged him into a player or he got dragged into Adams. So we've got a penalty. It might have been a helmet-to-helmet situation there as they have a teammate check his pattern equipment. That's Ben Clark, the junior, helping out his speedy mate, Mr. Smith, and the referees will huddle, see it could be a block on the back on that return.
Smith return down to the 5-yard line.
I was getting excited like you. I thought we'd see a pass play, and it was 4th down. I thought it was 3rd down still. I must have missed a down in between that quarter exchange. I can't blame it on the heat because it's not a hot night. I could have blamed it on the heat last week because it was in the 90s last Friday night. We love this weather we have. Let's see what the officials declare. It's at the 5-yard line for the time being here. If they move it backwards or not. Just one penalty on Atlantic Shores in that opening period compared to 3 for 20 yards on Roanoke Catholic. As we have ourselves is this a 5-man referee crew tonight, I believe? I think that's right. Nope, we got 6. We got one on the
5, yeah, one in the huddle here. 6.
This will be on Atlantic Shores. That's declined. However, the block in the back looks like that's accepted. Looks like it was 2 fouls on the play, if I saw that right. Is that what you got from that, Coach?
Well, yeah, probably.
Well, they're marking this back a good way. So I guess they're going to say it was the penalty occurred at the 16, so a 15-yard penalty at the 31.
That could be it. Or I don't know, it looked like he marked from where the flag was. He marked 10 yards off from where the flag was.
All right, so we'll put it down at the 31 of Roanoke Catholic here with 11 minutes to go in the second quarter. Got a little bunch formation here for the Seahawks. Smith in motion. He gets the quick toss. He's going to take off to the far side. He's going to get around the edge for a touchdown if he stays in, although there is a penalty. This could be coming back on a hold.
A quick pitch to number 7, Carlos Smith, but there's another.
Looks like when they attack them, not just vertically, Coach, but wide.
Right.
Roanoke Catholic cannot just keep pace with them.
You know, and again, you see the inexperience showing here. The defensive back came up to take on the block, but he jumped inside as opposed to staying outside to keep containment.
That's going to bring it back. That will not be a Chicho's Pizza touchdown, but I got a feeling that Atlantic Shores is still in position to get themselves a Chicho's Pizza touchdown. I'm looking forward to some Chicho's Pizza. That sounds good right about now.
It does.
I might have to put the diet on hiatus for just one night. I'm allowed that, aren't I?
I'll eat some for you.
All right. You didn't say I could put a diet on hiatus for a night. I mean, goodness, I'm 70 pounds down since December.
Man, I need to be on the diet.
No, you're fine. I was the guy that needed to thankfully have. All right, so it's going to be back to the 25-yard line. Mazzille going in the air, and that's almost picked off by Adams as he did a good job of timing that out and locating it in flight.
Mazzille's
Break it
pass
up.
is
Almost
broken
picked it
up.
off.
Yeah, that should have been a pick. Now I'm questioning Adams' hands. he had time to haul that one in.
And Zoup getting plenty of time back there. You see that offensive line with the likes of Nathaniel McDonald, Caden Beatty, Andrew Belford. We've also got Isaac Cohen up front. They're having their way so far in this first half of keeping Zoup in the pocket clean. As you have Zoup there, keeping it moving forward inside the 10-yard line before he is eventually dragged down.
Zoup with the quarterback keep.
Just looked like that might have been, couldn't tell if that was Stransky that brought him down. We'll take a quick, we'll keep it right here. We thought we had an injury time for a moment, but we'll keep it right here.
That is a Chicho first down.
Did he say it?
Chicho's
first down.
We're about to get a Chicho's touchdown as Kai Hodge runs in for the Chicho's touchdown. His second score of the day. See how he just set us up beautifully?
That's another
Chicho's Pizza TD for the Seahawks of Atlantic Shores. A beach institution since 1968, Chicho's has been serving the best pie around for over 50 years, from the single founding location to now 8 locations around the area. That's longer than I've been alive, Coach. Stop in, order online to find out why they're a Hampton Roads favorite. Chicho's, more than a pizza. But hey, they got pizza, and who doesn't love pizza? And the Seahawks are loving both Kai Hodge tonight and their extra point kicker. That is Mr. Jonathan Hilton. Puts it through 36-0 Atlantic Shores in front comfortably. 10-13 to go in the first half. Putting up some video game numbers this evening are the Seahawks.
Already.
28 seconds to go first quarter. It's Wake Forest 7, Old Dominion 3. You surprised it's that close right now with the Monarchs program coached by Ricky Ronnie that had not played a game in over a year?
Yeah, it wasn't a few years back that they stopped the game early against Wake Forest.
No, it was North Carolina. It was North Carolina, yeah.
Okay.
But you're right about that.
Yeah,
so.
that's not bad.
Only a couple years back since, remember that 2018 day when they knocked off Virginia Tech as a huge 4-touchdown dog. They're about a 31-point dog tonight. So a lot of interesting college football, high school football all across our nation. It's a great time here as we're getting back to some normalcy, and hopefully we'll continue to progress from this dreaded pandemic that's kept a lot of us indoors and not enjoying our sports and activities for well over a year. So it'll be kicked off by the Seahawks there, a little squib kick.
It's trouble.
And it's trouble that I think will end up with Atlantic Shores on the recovery. I think they got it. And it's Atlantic Shores football. Credit number 24, hopping on that loose pigskin, Josiah Malone, a junior, with the recovery. He paid attention in practice. He saw it there.
Recover the kickoff. Number 24, Josiah Malone.
So Atlantic Shores not done with this lead. Trying to get another Chicho's Pizza TD. Tell you what, if you're Norfolk Christian watching this either live or on tape, there's a lot you have to prepare for defensively for this group, because they can hit you with the pass, they can hit you with the run, they can also hit you with the quarterback, Mazil keeping it.
Everybody is a threat on offense.
Haven't really seen a weak link that you can exploit at the moment offensively. Of course, there hasn't been much of a rush too, so that allows Mazil to just sit back there and take his time as he finds a receiver crossing from left to right over the middle there, and it's going to be brought in by Hodge before a couple of Celtics meet him and stop him around the 25, 24-yard line. Kai Hodge with his first reception of the night.
That was a well-designed play. Bring the receiver from the short side of the formation under the linebackers to the wide side.
3 of 5 now for 107 yards for Mazil. That's his first completion that was not a touchdown in this half.
Pretty good odds there.
Yeah, 4 wide now from the 24 of Roanoke Catholic. Standing that 4-4 front, Coach, with just 3 DBs. 2 corners and a single safety. High safety. There's Mazzille, rolls right, pumps. He's got Carlos Smith, who brings it in. Stiff arms a defender, and he's in for a Chicho's touchdown. Carlos Smith.
Number 7, Carlos Smith for a Seahawks touchdown.
Another touchdown for Carlos, who had that 65-yard reception from Mazzille earlier. And now he gets on the board with a 24-yard reception for a TD. 89 yards receiving for Carlos Smith, and it's now 42-0 Atlantic Shores with 9:15 to go in the second quarter. And folks, running clock I do not believe is in effect until the second
half.
In case you're wondering. And the extra point is going to be good.
You know, I think I might have invented the running clock.
What makes you say that?
When I was in the Army running the sports program, during the basketball games, when the games got out of hand, I was keeping the clock. When they went back down, went in away from the clock, a minute came off the clock.
Goodness.
So the time was reducing in a hurry.
So 43-0 is our score after that PAT.
Oh, scoreboard's up now.
Yeah, it's up with 9:15 to go. Mazzille having himself a night. Three TD passes and a defensive touchdown. Kickoff takes a bounce, and it'll be landed on there. Roanoke Catholic just landing on it. The glare from the lights preventing me from verifying who it is. I think it's 23.
23?
Yeah, I think that was Arius Oliver, the 8th grader.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. He's an 8th grader.
Love the Friday night lights. Nothing like it. Such a tradition. Early third quarter, Virginia Tech still clinging to that 14-0 lead on North Carolina. Who'd have thought they'd shut them out for a half after what UNC's offense did the last couple of years against the Hokies in particular?
Yeah.
Who's going to score first?
Surprising.
North Carolina or Roanoke Catholic? That's the question of the night for the moment, as it is Roanoke Catholic football from their own 25. UNC has it at their own 31 on 3rd and 4, but we're watching the Celtics here against this three-man defensive line front for Atlantic Shores, which features the likes of Caden Beatty, Nathaniel McDonald, and Boaz Waldemar, trying to keep this running game bottled up for Roanoke Catholic, which has still yet to attempt to pass. And they're not going to do it just yet because we have laundry on the field. And that's going to bring them back 5 more yards. Coach, more multiple choice poll question, if you will, for you.
I'll start on the
I'll say trivia question, but that wouldn't be exactly what it is. Will there be a pass by Roanoke Catholic first, a Roanoke Catholic touchdown, or a UNC TD against the Hokies? What will happen first tonight? I had to put you on the spot.
Man, that's a tough question. Yeah. I think we will see a pass from Roanoke Christian before we see a score.
Roanoke Catholic pass before we get a Hokies TD or a Roanoke Catholic TD. All right. Roanoke Catholic will for them to be a passing TD for them. You get 2 on the same play.
No, I mean a pass, not a passing TD. a pass.
A pass attempt.
Yes.
Well, David Mazzille says you're not getting a pass attempt or even positive yardage. He's there for Adams on that run to the right side.
Adams on the run.
Actually does get him closer back to the original line of scrimmage, though, so he did get some yardage out of it. Got about 4. Marquise Adams, 4 rushes for 6 yards. But what I was getting at is we've got now 2nd and 11 coming up, is that Roanoke Catholic, in a perfect scenario, they'd like to get a touchdown pass that you score and you get the pass on the same play.
Well, I think we'll get a pass attempt.
Oh, no, I agree with you. I'm not saying that's going to happen first. Yeah. I'm not going with that long shot. That would be a long shot at this particular moment. Although things can change, and we got movement again, as I think that was the tight end that moved first.
Yes.
As he got a little antsy. Can tell you, second quarter, War Hill leads Norcom 10-6.
Whoa.
5:31 to go as Jerome Rhodes' Lions try to get to 2-0. Lakeland leading Southampton 8-0 with 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. An 8-yard touchdown pass from Kendrick Overton to Demarion Jordan. Remember, they lost a week ago 46-43 to Manor in a game that had 5 fourth-quarter lead changes.
Yeah, that was a tough loss for him. Good one for Jelani.
Yeah, Jelani Fair getting the better of Joe Jones in that one in a game that had 4 of those lead changes in the last 2 minutes. So it's backed up now to the 9-yard line, Coach, for 2nd and 16 for Roanoke Catholic. A couple of receivers to the right side. They'll hand it off. Gets away from one defender, but 3 or 4 meet Marquise Adams, including number 7, Carlos Smith.
I think Miss Sweeney kind of gave that one away. Looked like he had a little conversation with Adams while he was under center. Turned around and talked to him.
It's going to be a no gain, I believe, on that. I think Cody Batts might have been one of the defenders in on that stop as well for Atlantic Shores. Coach, if they get it off in time, this could be a pass. Although from your inside your own 10, the disaster with that could be a turnover or a safety. You got to be extra cautious.
I bet you Beatty doesn't make the play this time.
Rolls to the left. We got our first pass of the night, and it's a completion. Although it's not going to be positive yardage, it's going to be a loss of the field.
Flag on the play.
We've got a flag on the play. Marquise Adams caught it. So once again, Coach Moore showing his expertise. He was on the point with it. He correctly predicted it would be before we had a Hokies TD or a Celtics TD. As Sam Sweeney gets that first attempt completed, and it's going to be added on. Now what's odd about this is I think it was a loss of 2 on the actual completion, but they're going to get penalty yardage because I think it was a personal foul they called here.
Yeah.
Hit out of bounds, so it's going to move
hit.
them up to about the 23. So actually a loss of 1 rather. And a 15-yarder on Atlantic Shores, which I know Coach Lance is not going to be too pleased with here on that. But outside of that, his defense has been pretty stout against the run tonight.
Yeah, they had an offside call here. In other words, if they try to draw him offside, they make him get a first down.
And it's 3rd and a couple here from the 23. This is run territory here. They look like man in motion.
Yeah, they were lined up in balance. Look that time.
Jalen Merchant now out wide to the far side. See a blitzing linebacker coming. They hand it off to Adams. Gets outside, and it's going to be moving to chains. First down for Roanoke Catholic. Well-executed play there.
Great run by number 2, Marquise Adams, for Celtics first down.
As you see, the Seahawks able to finally get him down with Isaac Cohen and Amir Ali.
Well, they're moving the ball a little bit, and I'd say Caden is out of the game right now.
Chance to attack up the middle. Yeah, it's a good point. And about 9 on that last run for Adams. If they go back to him or a different back, it's going to be a different back on a toss here as they go to the Atlantic Shores side of the field. And it's going to be a really firm hit there from the Seahawks' number 24 as he just collides with the ball carrier. I believe that was
Let's do a flag on that one, too.
Arias Oliver on that carry. But the
run by number 23.
big hit from Josiah Malone.
There is a flag on the play, and it is waved off.
They wave it off. So Malone with the stick on Oliver. And he got about a yard or 2 on that carry. The big thing, Coach, I think is, if you're Roanoke Catholic and Coach Price here, is that you're using some clock now. So
yes.
You're getting a little bit more methodical as opposed to just quick 3 and out, let them quick strike on the other side. So about 2nd and 8 here from the 33. And they reverse it the other way. And that handoff will get a couple more there for Jalen Merchant before he is brought down. As you see in on your picture there, number 6, Adam Murphy, the sophomore DB for Atlantic Shores. It's the first time we've called Merchant's name on a carry, as they've had 5 different players tote the football, and that one got about 3, I think, on that run. So third and about 4 or 5 yards, we'll call it, from the 37-yard line. And dare I say 2-down territory if they don't go backwards on this 3rd down play. They've got movement. And they are going backwards before they can even get this 3rd down play.
Adams moved.
So a false start. That is the 6th penalty tonight. A little uncharacteristic of Roanoke Catholic football over the years is their inexperience showing again in that regard. It's now 21-3 Wake Forest on top of Old Dominion with 12 minutes to go in second quarter action in college football. King and Queen leading Windsor 38-8 with 3 minutes to go in the first half. In high school football, we've also got Western Branch leading Granby 19-0 with 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. Western Branch, how about the Bly connection? Dre Bly played at Western Branch. His son Jordan Bly with his first ever catch tonight for Old Dominion, and Dre's team trailing Virginia Tech. Dre, of course, went on to play at UNC, and he coaches there now. So got his work cut out for him, as does his son in terms of deficits at the college level. But right now it's going to be Sweeney keeping it and getting driven out of bounds by a couple of Seahawks, one of which is number 12 for Atlantic Shores. That's Emmanuel Williams, 5'5", 130-pound sophomore who's fired up. I think he lost a few on this one.
What number did you say Josiah is?
Josiah for Atlantic Shores is number 24.
Okay.
No! I don't want anybody back!
See, I think he lost 4 on that, Coach. He punted away. As you heard one of the Seahawks coaches instructing, he did not want a return man back there. He just wanted it to land back.
He's trying to call off the dogs a little bit.
Minimize the damage, exactly.
Yeah.
And your experience being on, I imagine, more of the positive side of these than the other side of these in the flop-sided margin here. Is it hard to get guys to not play with that same type of relentless edge with a big lead such as this?
Well, not really, especially in the first half. It isn't. And I've been on both ends of it. Okay, I can remember being behind 49-0 in a game against Kellum. In the start of the fourth quarter, and Chris DeWitt had his guys at my 25-yard line taking a knee.
Goodness.
So I've been on both ends of it, so, I've been shown some mercy, and I've given some, and I probably, been in a situation once where that we kind of ran the score up on the team, but that was for 3 quarters. We only did that for played 3 quarters. And after that, we didn't throw the ball or anything. We scored 77 points in 3 quarters.
Wow. 17-yard reception for Amir Ali from Damian Mazzil. Now Kai Hodge from midfield is going to run by some tacklers and get inside the 20 down into the red zone of Roanoke Catholic before he's finally tripped up. Looked like he was brought down eventually by number 4, Jalen Merchant.
We have a flag on the play.
And this could bring it back as Hodge busted off a 32-yard run for the Seahawks of Atlantic Shores Christian, and it's coming back. I wouldn't have a problem extending the running clock rule into the first half if it increases over 40 with under 5 minutes to go.
I wouldn't have a problem.
That's going to be right from the line of scrimmage, basically.
Yes.
That wipes out the run entirely for Kai Hodge. All the way to the 35.
That's good on one hand. And on the other hand, it could be a longer TD coming up.
So you're teasing us that we might have another Chico's Pizza touchdown.
Good thing Chico's not having to give away pizza tonight.
Well, listen, I didn't give him early touchdown props, but we're giving him plenty in the second quarter to make up for it here.
Better believe it.
Atlantic Shores threatening to get to the 50-point mark before the half a century, half 100. A TD and a PAT would get them there. A big shout out to all our other sponsors, including AstroTurf, Atlantic Bay Mortgage Group, Dairy Queen, One Life Fitness, Shine Time Power Wash and Paint Professionals, John's Tax Service, and CHKD Sports Medicine, as the Seahawks will keep it on the ground for this play on 1st and 15. It'll be a pickup of about, call it 5 or 6 yards. I think that was that Hodge again or somebody else that ran that? It might have been Williams.
It wasn't Hodge.
Might have been number 12 there, Mr. Williams.
Handoff to number 12.
It was Emmanuel Williams. Thanks to our public address guy for making sure I gave Emmanuel his shout out. He was fired up a few moments ago on defense, if you recall. 6 yards for him to make it 2nd and 9 from their, check that, 2nd and 24 rather from the 41 here as they will run it again. Williams brought down as the Celtics showed some good tackling on that. I think that was number 63, Caleb Deeds, was it not? I believe it was. Only a couple for Williams on that run. So 3rd and long now from the 43. 4 receivers for Mazzil and company. And he's going to keep it. Turn it up inside, and ball's loose. Think he coughed it up towards the end of that run. Question is who got back on it. Looks like it's going to stay with Atlantic Shores.
Fumble on the play, recovered by the Celtics.
And looks like Atlantic Shores lost the football on that one, Coach. So
wow.
Roanoke Catholic with the recovery at their own 45.
I would have expected a little enthusiasm down there at the bottom of the pile, but I didn't see it.
No. So let's see if Roanoke Catholic can capitalize on this from their own 45 with 32 seconds to play in the half. They'll run it with Adams on one of those little sweep plays. And he's got some daylight. Marquise Adams with a first down and more into Atlantic Shores territory, gets eventually knocked out at the 35.
Okay, that's the longest game of the night.
First down.
20 yards for Marquise Adams. He had 15 on 6 carries prior to that run. He just busted off with 18 seconds to go.
12
I
seconds
think we
left.
got a timeout possibly coming here for Atlantic Shores, and they will use a timeout on defense with 7 seconds to go in the half. As you know, this is the old Darnell Moore chuck and pray, throw it up, Hail Mary pass here to end the half.
Yeah, give him a shot at it.
We'll take a quick timeout here and come on back here with more on YouTube from the Sportsplex. And we are back here from the Sportsplex with Coach Darnell Moore. I'm Matt Hatfield.
Yeah,
Marcus
Matt,
Adams
man.
with a halfback pass. And he's going to throw it to his receiver along the sideline. He's going to be tackled.
And
Josiah
time runs
Malone,
out.
your guy there, Coach, with the stop. And I think that's going to be the end of the half. Let's see what they we got a man down, an injury.
And that ends the first half.
At number 21, the guy on the receiving end there, Preston Clark. I think that was. Got down to about the 23, a 12-yard completion. So we will take a break here at the half. Our score, Atlantic Shores 43, Roanoke Catholic nothing. More to come here on our broadcast on YouTube. Once again, brought to you by Zoup Eatery. We'll come back with some halftime thoughts, some scores around the area, and some stats right here on YouTube from the Plex.
When Grandma suggested cookies, Kyle wasn't expecting the new Nestle Toll House Chocolate Chip Cookie Blizzard. Two beloved treats, soft-baked Nestle Toll House Chocolate Chip Cookies and world-famous DQ Soft Serve, all in one treat. The good times roll when these two get together, just like G-Ma and her G-Son, making memories while mixing two favorites. With the Nestle Toll House Chocolate Chip Cookie Blizzard, only at DQ. Get it delivered at DQ.com.
After more than 50 years of innovation, AstroTurf still leads the way. The inventor of artificial turf does it all, right here in the USA. We engineer, test, manufacture, and install the world's most innovative fibers and turf technologies, with over 30,000 tracks and fields worldwide. AstroTurf, powered by Sport Group.
For more than 23 years, we've made it our mission to lend peace of mind.
even when times aren't very peaceful.
We know that every borrower is unique.
That's why we put you first in every step of the loan process.
At Atlantic Bay, we are dedicated, now more than ever,
to providing digital tools, resources, and a lending hand.
To help you reach your home dreams.
Because we're here for you.
whenever,
Wherever,
however.
Back here on YouTube from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex for VISAA football. High school football action. Atlantic Shores leading Roanoke Catholic 43-0 at the half. Matt Hatfield here with you alongside the coach Darnell Moore. Our broadcast tonight presented by Zoup Eatery as you hear the jets fly over us here on this picturesque Virginia Beach Friday night in September. Zoup Eatery is the place for you. Go to Zoup.com, join today, and they'll add a BOGO reward to your account plus 20 bonus points. I think that's on Coach Moore's agenda when this one is done. It's located right off of Lansdowne Center Way. It's right down the street from us here at the Sportsplex. And join the Zoup Insiders Rewards program to get exclusive offers, plus those points to redeem free stuff. And who doesn't like free? As our good friend, the coach Ed Young, likes to tell us, if it's free, it's me. Who doesn't like free stuff? So Zoup Eatery, our proud sponsor for tonight's ballgame. Atlantic Shores cruising comfortably. Coach Moore, 43-0. They might be on their way to 50 in the second half rather quickly, but they will have their running clock instituted. They scored 55 last week against Isle of Wight Academy with 49 in the first half. They led Isle of Wight 49-14 at the break and went on to win 55-21. So comparing it to that, you'd say it's not as big of a half. They had two special teams touchdowns in that game, but tonight Damian Mazzil, 5 of 7 for 148 yards passing, 3 touchdown strikes, also has a defensive touchdown. 2 of those scoring receptions by Carlos Smith, the other one by Brandon Peterson, and Kai Hodge with 4 rushes for 45 yards, 2 TDs to go with a 14-yard reception. And defensively, Caden Beatty has been among the stellar performers thus far for Atlantic Shores with, by our count, at least 5 tackles tonight, 3 of which have come behind the line of scrimmage. What have you seen from Atlantic Shores in your first viewing here of them in 2021?
A whole lot of offense. And a whole lot of Caden. I mean, he's been in their backfield time and time again. And I think that is one reason why they have been having problems with the center quarterback exchange, because he's been playing over the center's 8. And the big play offense from Atlantic Christian is going to give most teams a problem, because they spread their spread offense, and they're doing exactly what they call their spread offense. They're spreading it around. Mm-hmm. You know, everybody is getting a hand in this. so that can really make it difficult for a talented defensive team, let alone for one who's shorthanded.
Well, and seniors all across the board for Atlantic Shores. Mazill's a senior, Hodge is a senior, Smith, Peterson, they're seniors as well. Okay, Beatty's a junior, so he'll be back next season. For Roanoke Catholic, most of these guys, with the exception of Marquise Adams, they're underclassmen, as they've got Jalen Merchant as a sophomore, Caleb Deeds, their starting right guard, as a sophomore. Oh, by the way, they're starting a freshman at left tackle and at center with Carson Baker and Cole Weinbarger. For Coach Price tonight here in his 18th year at the helm, he's a veteran here, Bob Price. Offensively, they've got just – so look up the numbers here. 34 total yards of offense, 11 passing, 23 rushing. You're not probably going to come back from 43 points in the second half with a running clock. So what's kind of the accomplishment you try to set forth here for your group down by this margin here for the second half?
Try to get a drive. With the running clock, if they can get a drive like they did here at the end of the half, that could take up over half of the quarter.
Mm-hmm. Well, very true. Let's give you some scores around the area tonight in high school football. Western Branch on top of Granby, 19-0 at the half. It's Essex leading Jamestown 17-0 at intermission. Also at the break, War Hill with a 17-6 lead on Norcom. It's Lakeland blanking Southampton thus far, 8-0 through 2 quarters of play. King and Queen all over Windsor, 44-8. Over in the Southeastern District, Grassfield, a 7-0 advantage on top of Churchland at the half. So some scores there around high school football. The two that jump out at me, Coach, Grassfield leading Churchland, who's trying to avoid an 0-2 start, and the other Portsmouth school that's had some playoff appearances in recent years. Norcom down 11 to a Bay Rivers District school in War Hill, looking to get to 2-0. It's a little bit surprising in both of those, both the margins and the total score.
Yeah, and you can add that Western Branch went in. For me, maybe not so surprising in terms of them being over Granby. Mm-hmm. But, you're talking about the 2-0 start for them and 0-2 start for possibly for Churchland if they go down, makes it a difficult time for guys we're used to winning.
Yeah, for sure. And Lakeland trying to halt that 17-game losing streak for them there. Over in college football, I know people are keeping an eye on two of the Commonwealth teams from Virginia, Old Dominion, who's playing at Wake Forest tonight, an ACC opponent, and Virginia Tech playing host to North Carolina in Blacksburg. It's at last report, Wake Forest 21-3 on Old Dominion with 12 minutes to go in the second quarter. Have not seen a fresh update on that, but we'll try to get one for you here momentarily. And over in the game in Blacksburg, North Carolina has found the end zone, Coach, with Virginia Tech, but the Hokies still lead at 14-7. With 1:55 to go in the third quarter, as Braxton Burmeister just found Raheem Blackshear for a 15-yard completion down to the 30-yard line of the Heels. So starting to pick up the offense there, but the Hokies trying to get to 1-0 and knock off the number 10 team in the land, and Old Dominion's got some work to do, and understandably so, against an ACC opponent in what is Ricky Ronnie's first game at the helm as the head coach.
Yeah, I predict in that Tech game if they don't get a field goal this drive, the game goes into overtime.
Ooh, how about that? So how about the start tonight? DJ Mack got it for Old Dominion out of Norview High School in Norfolk. Wow. Not a great start, though. 3 of 10 through the air, 10 yards and a pick. So they're having to rely on the running game more, where they've got some runs from him as well as Elijah Lala Davis, 104 yards rushing for Old Dominion in its game against Wake Forest, where the Demon Deacons lead it by 18. So we'll keep you up to date on some more scores and action. I want to remind you that while you're getting all these great treats from our friends at Zoup Eatery and Chicho's Pizza, don't forget about Dairy Queen, because if you got a sweet tooth like Coach Moore and me, they're serving you a Blizzard treat, M&M's, cookie dough, Reese's, and Oreo fudge brownie. They thank you for being fans for all these years, and here's to many more. Dairy Queen, Lansdowne, fan food, not fast food. I'll take any kind of food. Last thing I ate was like at 2 o'clock today. I had a banana. I'm hungry.
When Grandma suggested cookies, Kyle wasn't expecting the new Nestle Toll House Chocolate Chip Cookie Blizzard. 2 beloved treats, soft-baked Nestle Toll House chocolate chip cookies and world-famous DQ soft serve, all in one treat. The good times roll when these two get together, just like G-Ma and her G-Son, making memories while mixing 2 favorites. With the Nestle Toll House Chocolate Chip Cookie Blizzard, only at DQ. Get it delivered at DQ.com.
All right, back here from the Sportsplex, as you just saw one of our sponsors, Dairy Queen, and with Coach Darnell Moore, I am Matt Hatfield. John's Tax Service, providing tax preparation and retirement planning services. John's Tax Service and JPM Financial Services have been serving all of Hampton Roads for more than 20 years. They're the best, thanks to you, John's Tax Service. And our score here at the break, as we're about a minute and a half away from third quarter action, Atlantic Shores leading Roanoke Catholic 43-0 here from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex. And don't forget, next Friday, it'll be up here on the YouTube channel as well. The Seahawks playing host to Norfolk Christian, the Ambassadors, a close rival. It's the Seahawks annual kickoff classic. They hope to see everyone out for this entertaining game coming up on September the 10th with Atlantic Shores. Probably looking to get to 3-0 at that point, taking on Norfolk Christian. You got to call a state championship, I think, didn't you, on the NFHS network with Norfolk Christian? That was back when Lamarion James, I think, was a freshman, right?
Yes.
Before he went to Indian River, and now he's at Old Dominion.
Yes. It was an interesting game.
Yeah.
You know, it really was. Yep.
They've always got
some
talented pieces, so there'll be, I think, more of a defensive challenge for the Seahawks in that one than what they've seen tonight against a group that's pretty much one-dimensional with a lot of young faces that we've touched on.
That may be true, but I just see so many offensive weapons. Mm-hmm. You know, for a guy who can spread the ball out, spread defense out, receivers who can catch it, and then a quarterback who can wing it and run it. You know, it makes it really difficult.
If you were to look at it, it's early in the season, so we've just, we're not going to get into a major comparison of guys. But among the dual threat quarterbacks in Hampton Roads, I think Damian Mazzille ranks among the better guys at that position. I mean, you certainly look at an Ethan Vasco from Oscar Smith, who's committed to Old Dominion. You could certainly take a look at a Saquon Miles from Maury High School, who previously played at Salem. There's a number of guys that fit into that consideration among the best. But Mazzille, he's no slouch at all. And tonight he's shown it with a couple of runs for 23 yards, 148 yards passing with 3 touchdowns, and a defensive score as well. And I wouldn't rule it out entirely, though. I think he's shown more prowess on the offensive side of the ball with the ball in his hands or getting it as a receiver, that it's even conceivable he could play defensively in college with his length and frame.
Yeah, that's possible. I'm going to tell you, I saw him 2 years ago, and I liked him as a quarterback then. He was an underclassman because he could really wing the ball then. He's taller now. He's bigger now. And I still like the fact that he throws a beautiful ball, a very catchable ball, and he can run it. You know, and he's going to make somebody a good ball player, hopefully a quarterback, but if not, he'll make somebody a good football player.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%, and it wouldn't rule out wide receiver. But you're right, quarterback, he does have a lot to offer to the table, regardless of what level that be. There's Division I, Division II, Division III, and FBS, FCS situation. Who knows what awaits him in his future as Atlantic Shores kicks it off. Roanoke Catholic receiving the second half kickoff at about their own 13-yard line, and it'll be brought out to about the 32-yard line. Marquise Adams with we'll call it a 19-yard kickoff return for him here as they get this second half underway. And it does not look, Coach, like we have the clock running, at least at the moment. It looks like it is halted at 11:45 here in this third period with the Celtics down by 6 touchdowns, with one of those being a 2-point conversion if you were to do the
hopefully it'll continue to run now.
Now it's starting to run, okay. Guy at the clock might have been asleep at the wheel, but they nudged him. Somebody did. No, Coach Moore did not throw a pin in his direction, in case you're wondering. But that is our handoff up the middle for about a good 6-7 yards. If you were close within distance, you might have, though, through one of these windows as it's up the middle for the Celtics for some positive yardage. They're starting to find a little bit of success up the middle. Of course, I think you pointed this out toward in the second quarter. I don't know that Caden Beatty's on the field at the moment, so that makes it a little easier to run up the middle.
Keep him on the sideline.
So I want to say that was Stransky on that last run for Roanoke Catholic. See what they can do on this run now. And it's going to be running into the tailback and a fumble. Ball on the
They
carpet.
got it back.
And the Celtics able to get it back. Alertly, Marquise Adams able to scoop up that live football.
Yeah, they were trying to counter.
It took too long to develop for them.
Yeah, and then they had people in the backfield other than theirs.
Which is not always a recipe for success. So.
Yeah.
So from their own 35-yard line now, needing to get about 7 yards to move the chains.
There's the
nice counter, and that time it works, going the other way. A big gainer for Roanoke Catholic. Inside the 25, they'll mark him out, finally pushed out as the Celtics break it off. Long run for Roanoke Catholic.
Yeah, he showed a little bit of speed there.
By number 11, Michael Goode.
As that was Michael Goode with the huge pickup. His first run of the ball game. It was a good run for Goode down to the 24. 41 yards. It's more than what they had, I think, the whole first half, or right thereabouts.
Yep.
So down to the 24 of Atlantic Shores. See if they go back to the counter, maybe the other way. We got movement up front as this will be a penalty. This could be the seventh
Offside.
infraction.
They have a,
it's going to be on Atlantic Shores.
They got a player that came onto the field from Atlantic Shores right down here by the official.
Seahawks were whistled for 5 flags for 60 yards in the first half, while Roanoke Catholic was penalized 6 times for 35 yards. And indeed, Darnell, you are right. That is on Atlantic Shores. So moving them up 5 yards to make it 1st and 5 from the 20. Scoring opportunity, first time in the red zone now for Roanoke Catholic this evening. But don't panic. Even if they get the touchdown and the 2-point conversion, the running clock will continue. You have to get under 35. Although Roanoke Catholic would like to get a little scoring run here going. Build on it for the upcoming weeks beyond tonight. Celtics making that long drive from the Roanoke area here to Hampton Roads. Option pitch. Sweeney to Adams. Adams gives a stiff arm to a defender and is able to push forward for a couple of yards on that.
Marquise Adams.
So Adams getting them a few yards away from that first down marker. He said the work for these yards, Coach Moore, 8 rushes for 38 yards. Remember, he broke up that 20-yard run before the half. Not a terrible average.
Yeah, double A got blitz coming up here.
Adams in motion. Handoff up the middle. He's going to push forward to about the 11-yard line. Looks like that was Arias Oliver.
Down.
Oliver getting it for about a chunk of 6 yards.
This drive will have taken up almost half of the quarter.
A lot of fans enjoying this pleasant evening in Virginia Beach. 70 degrees. Going to dip below 70 this evening. Fall type of weather here. Up the middle for about 4 or 5 more.
I think if he wasn't expected to get tackled and had his head up, he could have scored. Just run off to the right.
Celtics up the middle to the 9-yard line.
I think that's the 8th grader who's going to learn that as he progresses into 9th, 10th, 11th grade in Oliver. But you're absolutely.
And I can tell you this about inexperienced kids, whether they be 8th graders, 9th graders, whether they be freshmen in high school, college, or the pro game. When you're inexperienced, is no substitute for it. And what happens is that when those young guys out there on the field, they're trying to survive.
Without question. Marquise Adams gets near the 5-yard line. A couple of Seahawks meeting him, one of which is number 21, Austin McCoy, a junior. This Hatfield applauds a McCoy, Coach Moore. It's bound to happen at some point before the night was done.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll just fight later. That's okay. As it's at about the 5-yard line. In motion.
Counter. Touchdown.
And it's going to be, can he reach over the goal line?
Oh, he did.
He was close.
Sure he was okay.
No, he got stopped a yard short to Oliver with that hair.
That's the 8th grader.
Palomalu-esque.
The 8th grader, getting some experience.
He is.
Celtics run the ball.
Mikey Fisher, the junior, brought him down. Oliver averaging over two, almost 3 yards a pop now in this game.
I bet you every starter on Atlantic Shores defense is standing right there at the edge.
Now, here we go. This is one of my – okay, they weren't in shotgun. It's going to be under center here from a yard out. It baffles me when teams do that to college and high school level. Inside the 5, they go shotgun. But here's the pitch out to Adams, and he'll take it in for a touchdown. Marquise Adams, the senior, on his first Friday night experience of September 2021. He finds the end zone to cut his team's deficit to 37 here with 4:52 to go in the third quarter. As he has been bringing it all tonight. We highlighted him in the open. He would have to be a do-it-all guy all 3 phases, and he's not come off the field.
He has not.
His second touchdown of the season, the team's second touchdown of the year. Wake Forest up 28-3 on Old Dominion, and Virginia Tech did get that field goal, Coach, to make it 17-7 early in the fourth quarter.
Okay. I think that's a win for them then.
No overtime, he says. We're not getting overtime in this game, I can promise you that. Roanoke Catholic going for 2 now. And it's going to be stuffed there as they went to, looks like it was Oliver or somewhere to the right side, and there was 3 or 4 defenders ready to halt him in his tracks.
Seven minutes and 8 seconds on that drive.
You're right. That's what they needed in the first half, to slow the pace down, go to more methodical as opposed to the racehorse that Atlantic Shores wants to play at.
Yeah, that's true. Of course, they needed Caden Beater to be on the side.
They did, and he made a difference. He's been the real difference maker tonight. I don't know that he's the player of the game, Coach, but he's certainly been the X-factor difference maker to go with what those offensive weapons have done.
5 tackles. They had 3 quarterback center exchange bobbles. Okay. And that's like 8. That's almost like 8 tackles in the first half.
You do not tell a lie. It's absolutely on point. You know, it's not cold enough to be a blizzard, Coach, but it is a blizzard warning at Norfolk as Western Branch leads Granby 26-0 with 7.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. I tell you what, we mentioned Dairy Queen earlier. I want some blizzard ice cream. I'm going to tell you what else I want. Tomorrow, not tonight, but I'm going to want me a smoothie. Because I can have smoothies with my diets. And Tropical Smoothie Cafe is
Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
You can eat better and feel better.
Yeah.
They're bursting with fresh flavors. They offer grab-and-go catering, box lunches, Tropical Smoothie on Princess Anne Road right across the street from Tidewater Community College, TCC. It's the place to go visit, Tropical Smoothie Cafe. And that'll help me when I get my pizza and ice cream to get back on a diet.
Tropical Smoothie is the
place to go.
Yeah.
That's the place to go to. So.
Yep.
You've been there before, I'm sure.
Many times.
Many times.
Yes, many times.
Who's a bigger Tropical Smoothie fan, Darnell Moore or Faye Moore?
Probably she is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. When you make the trip home tomorrow, you can give her some Tropical Smoothie, and you will be out of the doghouse. You're not in the doghouse, though, I don't think.
Oh, of course.
Oh, you are. Okay.
Our dog's house is in the garage.
From the 41-yard line now for the Seahawks. As they,
so I just go out in the garage with the dog.
Right. Well. Referee's huddling up over something. I have no idea what. Atlantic Shores is ready to hike this ball and
Let's
go back
go.
in the air. They want to
Clock is
throw it.
running.
And I don't look like that's a new quarterback. Maybe is that Mazzil or someone else in there?
That's not Mazzil.
I didn't think it was. They got the twos in here, the second string. Bob Price is on the field with hands on the hips. He's not liking something or wanting an answer to something. I'm not quite sure. As we are.
Wind that clock.
And it will start ticking with 4:31 to go. Handoff going backwards. And Roanoke Catholic just ate that alive there in the backfield.
Yeah.
It's going the wrong direction if you're Atlantic Shores on that carry. New quarterback in is Will Goggin. Emmanuel Williams going to hurt his average here. He had 2 carries for 8 yards in the first half, but he lost 4 that time. So now he's down to, instead of 4 yards a pop, he's down to 1.3 a pop. See, math was my best subject in school after lunch, as Coach Young always says.
Well, my best subject was PE and lunch.
I figured the health PE background and the football coaching it had to be right up there for you. Toss out to Amir Ali. And Amir bounces off one defender and eventually is dragged down by one of those linemen for Roanoke Catholic. Looks like he was brought down by number 59. That would be Ethan Leonard.
Amir Ali, pick up a few yards.
I'll tell you, I got a chance to watch Amir a little bit last fall. He was participating in the Game Academy 7-on-7, and he showed some promise, Coach, out here. I think he's kind of a hidden gem type of kid for might be some of the local colleges, even statewide, that take a look at him.
Yeah, you have to put on some weight at 145 pounds.
I think some of the Division III schools might take a peek at him. He's got some intriguing burst to him. There's Ali now as he gets the edge.
The burst.
Doesn't have that regular prototypical size for a lot of your FBF SCSs, but there's always a home for some of those guys, Division II, Division III, that could certainly use a shifty slot guy.
Yeah, right.
With another Chicho's Pizza first down.
Amir Ali now into Roanoke Catholic territory. It's all the way down to about the 43, so we'll give him 15 on that. And I think you're going to incorporate him more into passing him as they move forward. Remember, he had a 17-yard reception earlier in this game.
Mm-hmm. He reminds me of Kenny Etheridge to play for.
He does have a little bit of that's a really good one. He's got
the
some
size
of that.
and everything.
Yes.
Yeah. And
slot shiftiness to him.
Mm-hmm.
Now he gets in the backfield. Kenny, of course, played at Oscar Smith, helped them win a region championship and get to the state finals. Tackled again by Ethan Leonard, 5'9", 175-pound senior for Roanoke Catholic. As they get down to about the 37. So Ali getting himself closer to 50 total yards from scrimmage, but you got him and you've got Brandon Peterson, Carlos Smith, Kenyon Wilkerson, a lot of weapons. The Vault Fitness Facility is Hampton Roads' newest 13,000 square foot facility. It's located in the hilltop section of Virginia Beach. They specialize in youth athlete development, personal training, small group training, and specialty fitness classes. Vault Athletics and Fitness. Amir Ali gets the handoff again.
Amir Ali.
And he continues to chug along for more real estate down to about the 24, Coach Moore.
Yeah, that was some poor tackling. You know, he should have been tackled for about a 6-yard gain on that. And I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't get in the end zone on some poor tackling.
Hand off to Ali along the right side. He's going to get close to the 20-yard line.
Good gang tackle there.
Number of white shirts there to get him down at the 21.
That should take us to the end of the quarter.
What do you give him on that, about 4 yards, maybe 3? Probably 3. Ali with 42 yards rushing and 17 receiving as they're giving some of those other regulars some rest, like Smith and Hodge and Peterson and Mazzil, as we mentioned. Coggin is in at quarterback, the 6'1", 160-pound junior. And that will do it for the end of the first quarter here on our broadcast tonight from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex. Our score, it's Atlantic Shores leading Roanoke Catholic 43-6 on our broadcast tonight, presented by Zoup Eatery. With Coach Darnell Moore, I'm Matt Hatfield. We'll be back with fourth quarter action from the Plex in a bit. All right, we are back here from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex. Coach Darnell Moore, I am Matt Hatfield. Atlantic Shores leading Roanoke Catholic 43-6. Our broadcast presented by Zoup Eatery as the Seahawks are closing in on a 2-0 start to their season, looking to follow up a 55-21 win over Isle of Wight Academy with another impressive running clock performance for Wayne Lance's team, which put up 46 points per game last spring during a 5-1 campaign. And Coach Moore with the seconds in here. The offense showing something after Roanoke Catholic controlled the ball for 7 minutes in that third quarter as they've got the backups in Will Gahagan in at quarterback. But that's going to be a loss of a good chunk there as Roanoke Catholic's defense came through.
Loss of about 5.
Unblocked. 59, I think, had that tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Ethan Leonard called his name out a couple of times in the second half. The senior showing no quit tonight.
And that's good, you know. It's good that Coach Lance has called it off for the most part and giving everybody an opportunity to play.
Seahawks here with this running clock. 3rd down and long from the 30-yard line. And some of these underclassmen are trying to get themselves acclimated to varsity football. Micah Lance rolling to the right, the 8th grader. He is out of bounds. And with that same Lance name, I would imagine that he's kin to the guy that's the head man.
He's probably some kin to him.
One of his sons a couple of years back, if you remember.
Yeah.
Jaden Lance.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the better wide receivers in high school football in Hampton Roads on the public or private school scene, and that's going to be another negative play, unfortunately, for the Seahawks as they go backwards for this 4th down from the 35. And why punt? I mean, you're basically going to punt it out of the end zone, so you might as well just take a shot here to see if you can move the sticks.
And they're taking their time, you know, running the plays, which takes time off the clock.
Here, one of the coaches up here hollering to speed things up because it's going to be a delay of game. If not, it'll have to burn a timeout. Delay of game, so they're going to back up 5 yards here. You know what I did earlier this week, Coach? I went to Why Not Italian. I got one right there in my neighborhood in Virginia Beach. Got me some chicken marsala, really good stuff. The salad's terrific. And they're
I like
celebrating.
chicken marsala.
Do you? Go get you some this weekend.
Well, did you go to the one over?
Providence Square in Virginia Beach, as that's going to be caught. Completion from young Micah Lance to his intended target, Joshua Sibley.
And he's short of a first down.
He is short. What did he get about that? He got about 16 yards on that?
Joshua Sibley.
I think he got about 16, maybe
about
17.
16,
yeah. But why not? They've got locations all across Hampton Roads. They're celebrating over 28 years in their commitment to excellent ingredients, traditional recipes, and treating their customers like family is what has allowed them to serve delicious food like that chicken marsala to the community since 1993. You can dine with them at any of those 7 locations. There's one right there in the shopping center, Lansdowne Commons. You got one by my house, Providence Square, including a new Haygood location on Independence Boulevard. So what's for dinner tonight or tomorrow night, or maybe bring some for Miss Faye on Sunday night? Why not Italian?
Look, and we actually have eaten at the one that's on Valbo Parkway.
Have you?
Yeah.
A lot of tasty. And you know who else is, by the way, it's in his top 3 restaurants is our buddy Coach Ed Young. He loves Why Not. One of his favorites. So Roanoke Catholic has the football. They give it back to the youngster, Mr. Aris Oliver. And he stretches it out for a nice chunk of yardage and a first down for Aris Oliver, the 5'10", 150-pound 8th grader. We're seeing some 8th graders make some plays out here.
He's going to be a sizable kid, 5'10".
23, Aris Oliver.
A couple years from now, he's going to grow up to about and build to about 180 maybe, bulk up. He'll be a solid football player to watch as he moves the sticks for Roanoke Catholic. Their second leading rusher tonight behind Marquise Adams, the senior. Got a good role model to look up to there. The Celtics have it at their own 35 now. Handoff
Buck
now.
sweep.
And that buck sweep is stopped quickly by a trio of Seahawks defenders, which included the likes of number 6, Adam Murphy, sophomore.
That's good to hear the starters cheering hard for the guys who are out there now.
Kind of like the camaraderie of this group for Lennox Shores. You know, winning's contagious, and it wants some of the younger kids in the program to be a part of that success. And chance to be 7 out of 8 in terms of 7 wins out of 8 games in the calendar year of 2021. They played in the spring and now up the middle. Seahawks, they're minimizing that run as you see Jack Weaver, the sophomore middle linebacker, getting both arms around the waist of the Celtics ball carrier and keeping him to just a couple of yards on the pickup.
Number 44, Jack Weaver.
Oliver just getting 2.5, 3 yards on that. Make it 3rd and we'll say 7 from just inside the 35. Time is ticking away here with under 7 minutes to go.
And I say we're in 4 down territory.
So you're saying we're done for the punts for the night. No more punting.
No more punting.
Rolling out.
Oh.
Completion there. Second completion of the night as Sam Sweeney finds his target, number 11 for Roanoke Catholic. That would be Michael Goad. Remember, Goad had a 41-yard run earlier in this half. And that time he gets a reception worth maybe 3 yards.
Maybe they need to put the ball in Goad's hand again.
Hey, Sweeney, accuracy-wise, I got him 3 for 3 for 14 yards. Means he has as many incomplete passes as you and I this evening.
Yep.
4th and a couple here. Call it a short 3, long 2. Or 2.5, as our buddy Bill Nettles likes to say. Longtime public address guy over at John B. Todd Stadium. It's going to be Sweeney rolling left. Can he get tackled? It's going to be stopped short as number 24 of Atlantic Shores was right there ready for him. Josiah Malone stepping up, the junior DB. Didn't let him get outside of him. Got a good angle and kept him from that first down marker.
Yep.
He's going to be about a yard or so short, is Sweeney. I think he's going to be exactly a yard short as they'll put it at the 44-yard line of Roanoke Catholic with 5.5 minutes to go in this ball game. Seahawks take over at the 44. I want to tell you that since 1965, the AstroTurf brand has been driven by forward-thinking ingenuity. Today, AstroTurf continually improves its system design to deliver playing surfaces with the most realistic, sport-specific performance, the longest-lasting durability, and sound player protection. AstroTurf. Here on this turf field at the Sportsplex. Quick completion, going to be a gain of maybe 6-7 yards there along the sideline to number 10, Marlon Johnson.
Number 5, Lance finds number 10, Marlon Johnson, free kick.
Get him about 7 on that completion. So young Micah Lance.
Yeah, that was a good pass.
Getting a chance to get.
And it keeps the clock moving because it was completed.
Getting accustomed to his varsity speed here. One of Wayne's sons here on a football field for this Atlantic Shores team as they hand it off. There's Emmanuel Williams. Cuts the other way, and he's got himself inside the 10-5. Touchdown. That's going to be a Chicho's Pizza touchdown for Emmanuel Williams.
And that is a Chicho's.
38 yards to pay dirt.
By number 12, Emmanuel Williams.
And the 530-pound sophomore gets a chance to boogie. Chicho's been serving the best pie around for over 50 years. A beach institution since 1968. Stop in, order online to find out why they're a Hampton Roads favorite. Chicho's more than a pizza. And Emmanuel Williams got a little shake. He's more than just a straight-ahead runner, Coach.
Yeah.
A little wiggle.
Little wiggle.
Little wiggle, little jiggle. And we're a point away from the 50 burger for Atlantic Shores for a second consecutive week. Western Branch up 26-0 on Granby through 3 quarters of play, and that PAT for the Seahawks is good.
Maybe next game we can get Chico's Pizza deliver
I love
some
that.
pizza up here.
You are thinking just like me. Great idea. I tell you, Brandon Hillman of Churchland scrambled out of the pocket and ran 28 yards for a touchdown and also had a 2-point conversion as Churchland has gone from down 7-0 at the break, Coach, against Grassfield to up 14-7 in the fourth period. An important comeback for Dontrell Leonard's Truckers to avoid dropping to 0-2 if they can hold on to that lead against the Grassfield Grizzlies.
Yeah.
Who could be dropping 0-2.
I can tell you, Dontrell gave him a song and dance at halftime that they hadn't heard before.
Yeah, he probably got that from one of the guys he coached with, and Robert Jackson. He probably learned something from some of those lectures there from his days with him at Salem. But 50-6 Atlantic Shores on top of Roanoke Catholic. As Emmanuel Williams with a 38-yard TD run for the Seahawks. And so we kick off, we'll take a hop, and it'll roll right around the feet of Oliver and head out of bounds, so we get a flag on the play. How about those Hokies of Virginia Tech clinging to a 17-7 lead on North Carolina, Coach, but Heels looking at a 3rd and 9 from the Va-Tech 31, so it could be decision for Mac Browning and company. They kick a field goal or go for a 4th down.
How much time is left?
8:04 remaining in that
8:04, okay.
Could be a big decision awaiting Mac.
Yeah, and if they don't get the first down, they kick the field goal.
It'll be a long field goal, though. Wake Forest still up 28-3 on Old Dominion.
What yard line are they at?
I'm showing the 31.
31, 38.
23-yard run from Ty Chandler there up in Blacksburg.
It'd be a 48-yard field goal.
They moved a lot of the high school games out there to last night, by the way, to certainly accommodate the college football taking place in front of the television cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Roanoke Catholic now they'll be making that trip back towards that way, closer to Blacksburg after this game tonight, and it'll be Sweeney trying to make it 4 for 4, but that's going to be his first incomplete unless the flag is on Atlantic Shores, and I think it is, Coach.
Yeah.
King and Queen on top of Windsor 52-8 in the 3rd quarter. They won a triple overtime game over Colonial Beach this past Saturday, so trying to get to 2-0 Dylan DeHart's team, and that flag will be on the Seahawks, much to the dismay of Wayne Lance. You can't be too upset because the team is up 44 points. You never yelled or screamed when you were up 44 points, did you? You were always calm, smooth.
Nah, and I was trying to keep the clock running.
Oliver. Hand off to the left
freshman.
side. He's going to get a first down and a little more as he picks up about 11, 12 yards on that carry for Eris Oliver. Got 43 yards rushing tonight by my count.
I think he's really gaining some confidence. Looking at him from the start of the game to now.
Love our comments on YouTube tonight. The sit down with Emma's. Damian Mazzilla is a beast. The Otaku Ja says, so good to see football at the Plex again. Thank you for chiming in with us tonight on YouTube. Once again, our broadcast presented by the good folks at Zoup Eatery, located right off of Lansdowne Center Way. Another first down for Roanoke Catholic at about the 38-yard line, we'll call it, for Atlantic Shores. Keeper for Sam Sweeney. Rolling right. Pulls inside, little crease and more. Down inside the 15, close to the 10.
Chico's first down.
It's going to be a Chico's Pizza touchdown if he does that again. That's what I'm telling you, Sam Sweeney.
By number 13,
Yeah.
Sam Sweeney. Down to the 11-yard line.
Pick up on that, Coach. About 30? Where
About
was our
30.
last? We were at the 40 last player, right?
Yeah, about
But
40,
he got 30 on that. Lending peace of mind, not your typical mortgage company. Atlantic Bay Mortgage Group, they understand getting a mortgage can be stressful, but they're here to guide you every step of the way, dedicated to providing you an enjoyable journey from start to finish. Atlantic Bay Mortgage Group. Going to be bottled up for no gain, maybe a loss of a couple as you see the Seahawks defenders.
The guard almost took the ball from the quarterback.
That was going nowhere. Going to go backwards, in fact. Lost about 3 on that. By the way, a penalty on the Hokies have the heels inside the 10 now.
Okay.
Loss of 3 for Sweeney. That hurts his rushing average, which is, he was over 2 yards a pop. Now he's down to 2 yards a pop exactly as they'll dial up the second and goal from the 13. With just over a minute to go, can they get one more touchdown and reach double figures before this game clock expires? 57 seconds on the clock now. Sweeney. The handoff, it's going to be a loss as you see. Number 84 was right there on it, ready. You see some frustration showing for Merchant of Roanoke Catholic. It was excellent penetration. You're absolutely right. As Joshua Sibley, their 8th grader, ready for it. Loss of about 6 for Merchant. Could be the final play of the game, Coach, as we see under 20 seconds to go here. I say give it a throw. Technically, he's not had it incomplete tonight because that one was picked up on a flag. 3 for 3.
Right.
Let Sam Sweeney sling it. He's going to try to sling it here. Sam Sweeney looking for his target. It's going to be intercepted in the end zone as the Seahawks get a pick to close this one out. Let's give that guy a shout out. Number 16 with the INT. That is Ben Clark. And that's going to do it, folks. Final score here tonight from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex. Atlantic Shores, a winner 50-6 over Roanoke Catholic. 3rd turnover of the night, and the Seahawks, 2 games in the books for Wayne Lance's crew. 55 points game 1, 50 tonight, 105 points for Atlantic Shores. Not too shabby, huh?
Nah, not at all.
Roanoke Catholic drops to 0-2 on the season. And it's going to be an interesting ballgame coming up next week with the Seahawks and Norfolk Christian coming to this Plex to take on this crew. A couple of final stats for you. Damian Mazzille, 5 of 7 for 148 yards, 3 touchdown passes. Also had a touchdown on defense on a scoop and score, 23 yards rushing for him. Kai Hodge had 4 rushes for 45 yards and 2 TDs. Emmanuel Williams had 42 yards rushing and a TD. Amir Ali had 42 yards rushing on 5 attempts. Carlos Smith had 2 receptions for 89 yards, both being touchdowns. Brandon Peterson had a 28-yard touchdown catch. Amir Ali had a 17-yard reception. Kai Hodge with 14 yards receiving. We mentioned Caden Beatty on defense, the standout with 5 tackles for Atlantic Shores. They also had an interception there to end the game, we just mentioned, by Ben Clark. Marquise Adams led the way for Roanoke Catholic with 39 yards rushing on 10 attempts. Actually, Aris Oliver surpassed him at the end with 8 rushes for 43 yards. Sam Sweeney was 3 of 4 passing for 14 yards and 26 yards rushing on 13 attempts. As that'll do it again, our final score 50-6. Before we sign off tonight, final thoughts, Coach, as Atlantic Shores' offense, pretty fun to watch. It'll be interesting to see what they do when they get a stiffer challenge from a team that defensively can take away one element, be it the run or the pass.
Yeah, I think they'll step up. They showed me a lot tonight, and I look at Roanoke Catholic, and they gave a big game effort, but it was too much offense by Atlantic Shores and too much Caden Beatty. Mm-hmm. We talked about the 5 tackles that he had, but he had 5 tackles. I guarantee you 5 tackles for loss.
Yeah. And
then the other 3 plays with this exchange mess up with the center and the quarterback, they were for losses as well. So you're looking at who makes 8 tackles and all 8 of them for loss in a football game. So, I think that was the story of this game. I enjoy watching the offense of Atlantic Shores. And, again, my hat's off to Wayne Lance for his sportsmanship.
Absolutely. We'll take a quick timeout and wrap it up with our Zoup post-game show right here from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex. Stay tuned, everybody. Back here from the Virginia Beach Sportsplex, once again our final score, Atlantic Shores a winner over Roanoke Catholic 50-6. We'll see if Coach Moore can choose a player of the game for us here in a moment. Here with Darnell Moore, I am Matt Hatfield here from the Sportsplex as the Seahawks move to 2-0. The Celtics of Roanoke Catholic dropped to 0-2 on our Zoup Eatery post-game show. At Zoup Eatery, you can build the perfect boxed lunch, a customizable and individually packed meal for your convenience. Choose from any of the wide variety of soups, made-to-order sandwiches, fresh salads. All are served with a hunk of bread and dessert. There's something for the whole crew when you choose Zoup Eatery. And as we go through some high school football scores around the area, we'll keep you in suspense who Coach is going to select for his unofficial, player of the game for tonight's ball game. He's got a lot of good choices for the Seahawks. Is it Damian Mazzille? Is it Kai Hodge? Is it Carlos Smith? Is it Caden Beatty? Tell you about some high school football action around Hampton Roads tonight. Churchland is up 14-7 on Grassfield with 8:46 to play in that one. Western Branch leading Granby 26-0 through 3 quarters of play. Essex on top of Jamestown 17-0 as the Class 1 Trojans try to move to 2-0 and defeat the Class 4 Eagles of Jamestown through 3 quarters of play. Lakeland is on their way to snapping that 17-game losing skid as they lead Southampton 14-0. Quite a turnaround for the defense. They gave up 46 points a week ago to Manor. War Hill, it's getting a little closer with them and Norcom, Coach. 17-12, War Hill on top of the Greyhounds with 11 minutes to play in that one. So those are some high school football scores for you. And it just went final. King and Queen a winner over Windsor, 52-8. No real major showdown around Hampton Roads tonight. I know some people are circling some games in the 7-5-7 next week. Green Run playing host to Kempsville. And we always say scheduled because anything can change with this COVID era that we're all in here. And you never know with weather around Hampton Roads. You get a lightning storm or something, they have to reschedule a game or something. We've had heat index affect some games last week. In private school action at the half, Nansman Suffolk Academy leading Blue Ridge 27-19. Now that stands out to me, Coach, from the standpoint of Nansman Suffolk Academy has one of the nation's top rated running backs in George Pettaway, and that's an opponent. Actually, both are opponents for Atlantic Shores in coming weeks as they will take on NSA and Blue Ridge, who's a pretty talented private school up there in the Charlottesville area as well. So you're going to see some scoring offenses face this Seahawks defense in the weeks to come.
And that will be interesting, They will be really tested, I think, in the secondary. We know their defense can bring some pressure because they're going to have to block Beatty. And I think that that'd be a good showdown there.
It really should be. We can also tell you, I know it's a game outside of the 757, but I know statewide people are paying close attention to it tonight because it's teams that have played some teams from our area, be it Ocean Lakes in the past or be it certainly Oscar Smith, Maury in the past. It is Highland Springs leading Manchester 20-13 with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter in that one. And a couple of college football scores that I'm sure folks are curious about. It is Virginia Tech leading North Carolina 17-10. The Hokies just punted and the Heels have to go 87 yards in 3:17 to force overtime, which you did say earlier in the game was a possibility. You felt good when the Hokies got that field goal, but that one could be going down to the wire there in Blacksburg. If you're not in front of a TV set or a radio dial, you might check that out in the final few minutes. And another game of note involving the Commonwealth of Virginia that people are following closely tonight. Old Dominion down at Wake Forest and Ricky Ronnie's coaching debut. And DJ Mack and company just turned it over on down, so the Demon Deacons have it up 28-3 from their own 48-yard line with 11:23 to play in that one. So any final thoughts before we end the suspense and announce your player of the game for tonight?
Well, sportsmanship is on my mind. And, I enjoyed this game, just the way that the players played and reacted towards each other. And my pick for player of the game would be Damon Mazzille.
You're going with Mazzille.
Because he had a hand in so many of the scores, and he picked one up.
He did. He had
defense.
A defensive score.
Yeah.
He was 5 of 7. Didn't have a bad throw. And he ran for 23 yards, and it was kind of a really easy night for him. If he played all 4 quarters, he might have had 5 or 6 touchdowns. So
he might have had 500 yards.
No argument for me on that. So that is Coach Moore's POG player of the game. As we wrap it up here again tonight, presented by Zoup Eatery. It's located right off of Lansdowne Centerway. Join the Zoup Insiders Rewards Program and get exclusive offers and points to redeem for free stuff. Go to Zoup.com to join, and they'll add a BOGO reward to your account plus 20 bonus points at Zoup Eatery. I want to thank Nick Senti and our hardworking camera crew and team behind the scenes, as well as my broadcast partner, Coach Darnell Moore. I'm Matt Hatfield. This has been fun.
Enjoyed it, as always.
We'll do it again with some high school football action from the Plex. Play at the Plex right here on YouTube. Good night, everyone.